You woke up in a world that decided to burn. You are no longer a son or a student. Today, you are just a number in the long line of death. The smell of gunpowder is your only perfume. This iron in your hands is the only thing standing between you and the void. Welcome to the front. Here, there are no heroes, only survivors writing history in their own blood. Prepare yourself. The war waits for no one. You wrote your last words before you knew they were the last. You put your heart in an envelope and left your soul in a home you may never see again. Alvaden. The door opens in seconds. Ahead is the ocean, behind is death, and between you and the beach are 1,000 bullets waiting for your flesh.
In fact, in the heat of the front lines, the average life expectancy was sometimes only 20 minutes. You are living on borrowed time.
The cold is an enemy as deadly as the lead. Your fingers freeze to the trigger. Your heart slows down, waiting for the ghost behind the trees. When the cannons play their music, there is nowhere to hide. You are a grain of dust in an iron storm that does not know the difference between brave and coward. You lost your brother in a heartbeat. You screamed his name, but the wind didn't answer. In war, goodbye is the most frequent word spoken. Hunger gnaws at your stomach more than fear. A moldy crust of bread becomes more precious than gold when you are trapped in a trench under siege. You looked at the sky and saw the end of the world. The planes weren't birds. They were crows bringing fire to every home and every child. Objects stay. People live. This helmet will tell the story of a head that once dreamed of returning, but instead became part of the earth. When the tank approaches, the earth shakes, and so does your faith in survival, who are just flesh and blood against tons of cold, indifferent steel.
Medicine was a race against infection. A simple scratch could cost you a limb or your life without the miracle of antibiotics.
You called for help, but the radio gave you only static. You are alone now, with your rifle and your shadow, facing the unknown. Death is silent. An eye that sees you while you remain blind, waiting for your breath to decide when to end your story. That cigarette was the last taste of life. In the quiet moments, you realize how beautiful it is to breathe. The water is as cold as death, and the enemy waits on the other side. Every step is a gamble. Houses became graves. Streets became mazes. You are fighting for a ruined room in a city where nothing remains. Osta, in a rare moment, you saw a human behind the uniform, and you remembered the enemy also has a mother waiting. You felt a cold sting, then a heat that burns your soul. Shrapnel doesn't care if it hits your heart or your shoulder. It only seeks a way inside.
Fact. War doesn't just wound the body, it breaks the mind. Thousands returned with whole bodies but souls shattered forever.
What are we fighting for? Flags change, and borders are drawn in blood. But the earth you are buried in remains silent forever. Even animals were dragged into our madness. The dog knows no politics. It only knows the scent of its master and the duty to protect. In the dark, all ranks fall. You are not a fighter here. You are the only shield between this child and the monsters of steel above. You finally threw down your weapon, not out of cowardice, but because your body could no longer hold any more hatred. Staying alive is the only victory left. You returned home, but home no longer exists. The war stole the very place you were fighting to return to. They gave you a piece of metal for the years of your life you lost. It shines, but it doesn't bring back your friends, and it doesn't erase the screams. You looked in the mirror and saw a stranger. The soldier who went to war never came back, and the one who did is someone else entirely. In a world where war takes everything, peace is the only revolution left. Comment, peace or war. Varysia universe. Varysia.